Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Dynamic Leaders page. I am Norman Hartman and I'm so excited to have you here with me. Okay, as we say, let's dive into this thing. I am so excited about today's topic because we're talking about something that has been burning within me for the past few weeks, and that is the end of the success movement. Yes, the end of the success movement. See, we are aware through history of the opportunities that are available to us. We can look down in history to see so many people that have done so many great things, even down in the 19th century and the 20th century, with the boom of the Industrial Revolution, things being created like the cotton gin by Eli Whitney, onto all the inventive things that George Washington Carver was able to do with the peanuts. Even now in the 21st century, 20th and 21st century, what Steve Jobs was able to do with the computer. Down to Idris Sandu, a young 21-year-old, 22-year-old guy who has an extensive career to his leadership with the autonomous driving with Uber. So it's amazing just to see all of these inventors and all the things that can be done and the human potential just wrapped up inside of one person. And so we learn about the potential that's in us. And I believe that the major difference in our generation is not the fact that there are opportunities for entrepreneur, but we're aware that there are vast amounts of money, that there are vast amounts of opportunities for us to to be involved with, and we're more aware of that than cultures in times past. But I want to talk about the dangers in that. There's a little bit of danger in that. There's a statistic out there that says by 2020, which we're headed there, less than 6 months away, by 2020, half of the workforce will be entrepreneurs, people, 1099 employees, people that are seeking to do things their own way, people seeking to do things and have their own methodologies within their own company. And so we see a rise in that, but I also see a danger in that because being the economic guy, or the way that I like to study economies, I understand that anything that rises must fall. Any industry, any market, as you see an incline, there's always a decline to come after. So I want to make sure that you as a person, not just an entrepreneur, but you as a leader that's stepping out to do entrepreneurial things, are aware of what's about to take place. Okay? So the success movement, let's talk about this. This success movement, to be success minded. What does it mean to be success minded? To be success minded means that you have a goal that you want to accomplish, and you're willing to do whatever it is to accomplish that it takes to accomplish that goal. Okay, within reason. So you wake up asking yourself, what skills do I need to have? What certifications do I need to obtain? What degrees do I need to have? What organizations do I need to join? And what people do I need to know? So there are a lot of what questions. And the common thread with all those questions are what? External. Things that you can add to yourself. How can you armor yourself or prepare yourself so that you're able to accomplish a goal? Now, that's not necessarily an evil thing, because we need to have goals. We need to be goal-oriented people. However, when the goal is your chief aim, then there are a lot of blind spots. When you have that tunnel vision, there are a lot of things outside of the tunnel that you miss. And typically the problem arises when there is a dilemma, okay? When you have to choose between cutting the corners, when you have to choose between something that benefits the other party more than it benefits yourself, how do you navigate through that, okay? If I'm a business owner, or if I'm engaged in a business deal, and it seems that the person on the other end of the table or other end of the stick would have more benefit than me, or it seems like if I have to make a decision that's not favorable for me, that's going to slow my pace down a little bit, how do I decide? And a lot of people in that situation, because we're so goal oriented, we typically 99.9% of the decisions that we make are decisions that are in our favor. Okay? And I'm not telling you not to make decisions that are in your favor, but what I'm saying, when your character is on the line and you make decisions that are still in your favor, even when your character is on the line, there's a problem there. there's an issue there, okay? That means that your goal has become larger than the role, okay? In other words, you are willing to you're willing to do anything that it takes to get where you want to go. You're willing to do anything, do any job, sacrifice your morals, sacrifice your standards, leave a company prematurely because of that bottom line, right? When you know that you're in a place that you're supposed to be and your mind is on your purpose and somebody offers you a sweet deal or offers you that increase in income and you would rather leave the relationships and the opportunities that you're building just so you can have the increase, that pay increase, there's an issue there. There are some relationships that are invaluable on this side, even though you're not receiving the pay that you want to receive, but because they're willing to pay you a little bit more over here, you're willing to cut ties, forget about the relationships, forget about the purpose, forget about what you are establishing and building over here, leaving your long-term plan for a short-term gain. And that is very dangerous. And this age that we're in with the success-minded mentality, or this success-minded age that we're in, I see a lot of people headed that way. I see a lot of people getting ready to jump ship, a lot of people getting ready to abandon things prematurely, all because they have this passion about building their goal and there's this tunnel vision. So I want to talk about what's getting ready to replace this success movement, okay? Because I mentioned that we're at the end of the success movement. And my pastor, I want to give him credit. He said, I heard this spiritually. He said, my pastor, by the way, Michael Grant, Faith Worship Center, shout out to you. He said that people need to make a decision quickly because in the next 3 years or so, people are going to begin locking in to different companies, locking in with the relationships that they already have. And if people continue to jump ship, continue to start new things, they're wishy-washy, they're uncommitted, then they're going to find that people are going to not support them. And so as a person that has vision, as a person that feels called to do something, I want to make sure that you feel supported, and I want to make sure that you're able to tap into the support that is available for you, but you have to lock in, and you have to lock in specific ways, okay? So let's talk about this new wave that is about to take place. This new wave is all about effectiveness, okay? How effective are you? Several months ago, I listened to a podcast of T.D. Jakes, and he talked about how the people of this age are so focused on success, and he talked about in his rise or his climb that he was never focused on fame, he was never focused on fortune, he was always focused on the moment and how effective he was in that moment. So when we're talking about setting our mind on effectiveness, we're asking questions of ourselves such as, how can I improve myself? How can I make this better? How can I make a more direct contact with my audience or the people that I'm in relationship? What do I need to change, okay? And it all comes back to find out how effective are you. You're asking those questions. Am I relevant? Am I relevant, or am I still sticking to my own guns because I'm trying to accomplish my own goals? And guess what? You're going to make the accomplishment of your goals very difficult if you are stuck in your ways and you lose your relevance to the people that you're trying to help, okay? So this next wave that is getting ready to be ushered in is a wave of effectiveness. So what does this wave of effectiveness look like? Okay, so I'm no longer going to do anything to gain a buck. I'm no longer going to do anything for likes and shares. I'm not just going to do anything just so that I can move forward faster and move forward further and get closer to my goals. I am focused on how effective am I today? How effective are you in this very moment? Not tomorrow, not how close are you to reaching your goal, but in this very moment, how effective are you? What is the quality of your product? What is the quality of not just your brand, but your image? When people see you, do they see the same person every day? Are you effective on the job, not the job that you want, but the job that you have right now. Are you a leader? Are you a proven leader, not in the steps and responsibilities that you want to oversee, but in the steps and responsibilities that you have available to you right now? When your manager gives you a project, how well are you doing that project? Does it take you forever to accomplish that project? Do they have to constantly remind you, hey, I need this done by this time? And if they constantly have to remind you, hey, I need this done by this time, you have to be honest with yourself that your level of effectiveness right now is going to bleed over into wherever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you want to go, and whatever it is that you want to do. Why? Because it's not always a bed of roses. See, for a year now, over a year now, I've stepped out of the corporate world and I've stepped out into ministry, and I am an entrepreneur. So I am working in the space of real estate. You guys will see more about this coming. I'm working in the space of financial consulting, at least as it pertains to things like budget, savings, and how do you leverage your skills and monetize those skills. So those are areas that I'm working in. And the days that I am not working with a customer, the days that maybe I don't have a full schedule, I still have to have discipline so that I am able to climb. I still have to grow. I still have to invest in myself. And if I don't have that work, if I didn't have that work ethic where I was, I wouldn't have it now. Surely because I have so much more time that I have to be effective in using that time. So don't fool yourself. If you're going for that next level of management, if you're going for that, it might even just be a volunteer opportunity, whatever next level is that you're going, when you have access to more power, when you have access to more time. If you're not an effective person where you are, then that lack of effectiveness is going to copy itself and duplicate itself when you go into that next level of opportunity. But here's the thing, you're not going to receive that next level of opportunity or that next level of responsibility until you show that you are effective where you are right now. Okay? So I want us to learn to be effective. For some of us, that means sticking with one thing. If your thing is clothing and apparel, stick with clothing and apparel. Some people have multiple businesses that has been given into their care. Even if you have multiple businesses, you should be able to summarize your businesses even in an elevator speech. I work in the space of spiritual and economic development. I do multiple things, but all of the things that I do are in the space of spiritual and economic development. I work with people one-on-one in spiritual and economic development, and I work in group settings in spiritual and economic development. Anything outside of that is not inside my wheelhouse. So regardless of how many jobs and how many companies, how many nonprofits, how many volunteer organizations you are a part of, you should be able to summarize it in a way that is effective, in a way that keeps you sharp. Because you don't need to be divided. You don't need to just be doing things just so that you can be successful. Oh, I'm going to join this organization because if I join this organization, then it's going to give me a leg up in my career or a boost on my resume. Or I'm going to go and play golf with this person. I'm going to be buddy with this person. I'm going to go and fellowship with this person. Why? Don't just do things just to do it. Don't just do things because you feel like they're going to get you closer to your goal, because that place of being success-minded is being selfish. So when it comes to doing things not just for yourself, but doing things for other people, you're going to be doing them for the wrong motive, or you're going to be doing them with the wrong motive. So I want to make sure that you're doing things with the right intent. So here's the question. How do we make this transition from being success-minded to being mindful of our effectiveness in a way that is organic? We have to do this by focusing on concerns that we have, things that are concerns for us, right? So if I find something that I'm passionate about, something that I'm concerned about, then I'm able to genuinely and throw myself at it, start to solve the problem, start to do the research towards solving that problem. Why? Because it's something that is organically a concern for me. And we mess ourselves up by not organically finding our concerns, okay? So here's your homework. I want you to start focusing on what issues and concerns you're passionate about. And as a matter of fact, on this comment, on this post, or after this video, I want you to post it on this dynamic leadership page. What are areas of concern for you? Okay? And let's begin this conversation. My 15 minutes are up, but guys, go out and be great. And remember, go forward as a leader. Okay? All right, take care.